What's going on, everyone? So in today's video, I'm going to do a comparison and give my personal opinion on the Schecter KM-7 Artist and the KM-7 Hybrid. Now, both of these guitars are signature Keith Merrow guitars. Very similar, but they do have some slight differences. And so hopefully if you're stuck between choosing one of these two, because of the price difference, which is, at the time of this video, this one is going for about $1,800, and this one is, I think, $1,400 or $1,500. So it's about a $300-400 price difference. And so hopefully this video helps you determine which is the better option. So here we go. Now that you've heard what the guitars sound like in a mix, I'm not going to do a lot of video as far as how each guitar sounds individually, because you really can change that based on the settings that you're using for either your amp or your plug-in. I mean, I can make these guitars sound exactly identical. Plus, there's a lot of videos on YouTube of people playing these and showing isolated sounds. So in the mix, you may or may not be able to hear a big difference. What I did was I pretty much got a sound with one of the guitars. I think I got the sound set up with the Artist and replicated that into this guitar. I'm using a plug-in with Studio One. All I did is drag and drop, and the settings are identical. I'm gonna start off with the hybrid. Now, one of the things that attracted me to the hybrid, other than the price point, was the maple fingerboard. This is the hybrid Snowblind is the only KM model that has a maple fingerboard. Personally, I love it. I've always loved the maple fingerboard. Personally, I wish it was bird's eye maple. To me, it just looks better than regular maple, but in the end, it still looks good. It does have a slight gloss finish on it. Obviously, the guitar has a gloss white finish with I believe that's a painted black binding around the edge. Your pickups are white. These are Fishman Fluence pickups. They don't have dual voices. There's no push-pull coil, and there's no voicing switch down here. And if I remember correctly, these are not exactly Keith Smero's signature set, which are in the Artist models. These are pickups designed specifically for the hybrid models, but they are still Fishman Fluence active pickups. On the back, very simple, nothing crazy. Nice little cutaway here. It is gloss on the back of the guitar as well. The neck does have a satin finish though. So me personally, I can't stand guitars with a gloss neck. They just tend to get a little too sticky. So my ultimate preference is raw wood, like what's on the Artist, but this isn't really bad either. Do have your locking tuners. These are Schecter branded locking tuners, which work really well. Hip shot bridge. And overall, you can't go wrong with this guitar. If you are on a budget and cannot swing the extra money for the Artist, or you like a painted guitar, you like either a white or they have, I'm going to say Nardo gray, but it's similar to the Audi Nardo gray. Those are the only two color options. You can't get it in a 6 and a 7 string. Whereas your Artist model has more wood finishes, more of a raw tone to it. So it's kind of a personal preference. But overall, the guitar sounds great. It plays very well. Very smooth playing guitar. And again, for the price point, I'm happy with it. In my opinion, you really can't go wrong with this guitar, especially if you're trying to stay under that $1,500 price point at or about. I wouldn't hesitate to buy this guitar again. The edges are smooth, no issues with the fretwork, and just everything is done, in my opinion, extremely well for a mass-produced guitar. On to the Artist model. Now, to me, and obviously from guitar to guitar, you're gonna have slight differences even with the same model. This specific one does have just a little bit more weight than the hybrid one that I have, but it's nothing extreme. So you have your Fishman Fluence pickups, signature Keith Smero pickups. You do have the active voice switching. It's a 3-way switch. And obviously, just like your hybrid, you have your 3-way pickup selector, and your volume knob is a little bit different than the hybrid. You have these little rubber like gasket type. I can't even think of what the right words for these, but anyway, just for better grip. With the Artist models, you get a stained wood top versus painted. Personally, and it's satin as well. Personally, this guitar fits me better than the hybrid because I prefer a satin top. so my arm doesn't stick. And then I prefer the wood, the pretty much raw tone wood finish. My hand, it just feels a lot better in my hands. Same with this one, no issues as far as fretwork goes. On this one, you do have hip shot open geared locking tuners versus the Schecter branded locking tuners that are on the hybrid. We have an ebony fingerboard, and then honestly, to me, the back of this guitar is gorgeous. I've become a sucker for wood finish, just leaving the raw wood finish and getting the grain of the wood, the characteristics of the wood. So what that means, on your tops, no guitar is going to be the same as another. Even though these are mass produced, you're going to have different characteristics with each guitar based on the wood. So again, you can kind of look at each one as being unique. This does have a hip shot fixed bridge, just like the hybrid, but this is a hip shot Ibby bridge. And to me, even though the difference is not massive, this bridge is a lot more comfortable than the hip shot bridge. And up until trying this bridge, the hip shot bridge was by far my favorite bridge. So to kind of sum things up, in my personal opinion, I think the artist model is worth the extra money over the hybrid. For me, because of the satin top, you get the pickups, the signature Keith Merrow Fishman Influence pickups with the different voices. The unpainted back, and this hip shot Ibby bridge. To me, those features that makes up the price point for the price difference for me. Now again, if you prefer a painted finish, then the hybrid model will be perfect for you. But either way, you can't go wrong with either of these guitars. As I said, personally, I prefer the artist models. I actually have a KM-7 as well. The only thing about the artist models that I'm personally not a fan of, and I'll be changing out, it's easy to do, are the tuning heads. I feel like it's a little bit harder to get that fine tune with these pegs versus what are on the hybrid. So again, they're like a couple bucks a piece to switch out to the ones that are on the hybrid from Hipshot. So I'm going to end up switching those out. But at the end of the day, it's really going to be what's in your budget and what do you think is going to work, which one you like more. As far as the sound goes, as I mentioned, you can get both of these guitars to sound exactly the same. This does seem to have a little more low end to it whenever I'm using the same settings from each guitar. So if I set the settings up on this guitar, plug in the hybrid's a bit brighter and clearer. Now again, I can tweak that whether it's with EQing or just messing with the different amp settings. But again, overall, this is what I would choose if I was between buying these two again. My hybrid, I'm actually selling it because I don't need essentially two of the same guitars. Again, you can't go wrong with either one, but for me, I gotta go with the artist model. Until next time, y'all have a great day.